Hi guys. So we have 6 days left, just six, including today. So a couple of big important things. First, a lot of you have been doing a really good job of turning in your work. So I want to say I appreciate it. I'm proud of you. But second, a lot of you have not been turning in your work. Turn in your work. This is a required class. You have to pass this class to graduate high school. And as much as I love seeing you guys and getting to know you, I am positive you would rather not have to take this class again with kids who are younger than what you are now. So whether you are a freshman who will be a sophomore next year, you don't want to be taking this class with freshmen. If you were a sophomore this year or a junior this year because you just didn't get this class scheduled when you were a freshman, you definitely don't want to be taking it again. So get your work done. Turn it in. I mean, I spend so much time grading and emailing, and I'm sure that you would love to not get those notifications anymore. So just turn it in. So to those of you who are doing a good job, good work. For those of you who aren't, yes, Mocha, exactly. For those of you who aren't, do it. Get it done. Turn it in. It'll be fun. This is Mocha. Mocha. Hi, baby. All right. So if you are somebody who needs to turn in missing assignments, there's a couple of things you need to know. First, projects and quizzes will not have a late grade. You can earn full credit on projects and quizzes, and you can tell if they're a project or a quiz by checking Skype. For the other assignments, you will have a late penalty, but it is not a huge one. Okay, you can still earn up to an 80% or so, approximately. Some of the assignments don't come out to a nice even 80%. So, but you can still earn a majority of the points. And the reason we're doing that is because it's fair to the kids who did the work on time. Okay, they deserve to be recognized for it. So those assignments that you might be missing, you can still turn them in. You can still get credit for them, just you'll have a little bit of a penalty. Either way, a little bit of credit is better than the zero that is currently in. So turn in the work. Now, for the last 6 days of class that we have, including today, we are going to continue talking about the human impact on the environment. So last week you learned about ecosystem services, like cultural services and provisioning services. You also learned about deforestation and desertification and erosion and all of the fun science terms that you didn't realize you'd get to review in geography and history of the world. We also learned about overharvesting and invasive species. So the overharvesting was highlighted with overfishing, in terms of sharks and other fish in the oceans, and then not overharvesting, I just talked about that. Invasive species, you looked at kudzu and the silver carp and the Burmese python and some rabbits in Australia and lots of stuff. Now, I know some of you are interested in this type of thing. Maybe you're a hunter or a hiker, something like that. Or you just find these things interesting. But if you happened to look in more detail, you'll have seen in Florida, they actually passed laws that make like python bounty hunters. So you can get paid for each python, Burmese python you bring in dead, because they're causing so much damage to the Everglades. I mean, they're destroying the top predator. So like, the Burmese python, you don't want to have it. Recently, last week, I saw an article, and I can't remember if it was from Missouri or Mississippi, but it was about the Mississippi River. The governor, or like the state's Department of Fish and Game, Wildlife and Fish and Game, they said if you catch a snakehead fish, to just kill it. It's an invasive species, also from Asia. That's thriving in the southern parts of the United States, Florida, and the area around the Gulf, that type of thing. And it's a predatory fish, so it's been destroying everything. So, you know, invasive species can have a big impact. Just this weekend, we learned about an invasive species from Japan, Asia. It's responsible for 50 deaths a year or so in Japan, and it's colloquially named the murder hornet. That's not a species you want to have in your country. So these are a big deal. They're still happening, even though we know the dangers. But today what you guys are going to be learning about is sports in the environment. Now, sports are a lot of fun, and I am not saying, and the article is not saying you shouldn't have sports, we shouldn't do these things. The point of this is to show how we should think about how we're doing stuff. So go ahead, build that new stadium. Just make sure that you're aware of the impact those builds will have, and then hopefully you can use that impact to come up with ways to mitigate or lessen the consequences. So that way we're not completely destroying this world that we live in while we still get to enjoy, you know, the things that we like to enjoy. So what you're going to do today is read an article. Now, normally this article, all you would have to do is answer the 3 questions at the end, but Mr. Puckett and I have decided we're going to make you critically think a little bit as well. So you're going to read through this article. It's not very long. And then you're going to answer these 3 questions. Okay, so I would just use the next page. Each of your answers needs to be at least 2 complete sentences. Okay, so you should have at least 6 complete sentences for those 3 questions total. Now, once you're done with those 3 questions, you're also going to create a list or a chart of pros and cons for sports in regards to the environment and the ecosystem. So you need to have at least 5 items on your pro and con chart. So you can have 3 pros, 2 cons, so positive consequences and 2 negative consequences. Or you can have 2 positive consequences and 3 negative consequences, or 4 and 1, or 4 and 1. But you have to have at least 1 thing in each column and a minimum of 5 topics. Now, can you have more than 5 items? Absolutely, go for it. But 5 is the minimum. Okay, you have to have 5 things minimum in that chart. So make sure that you're following the directions, make sure that you read fully, make sure that you do what you need to do. And if you are somebody who has missing work, get it turned in. So that way I can grade it and I can mark your name off of my lovely list that I have for every single week. I'd so much rather be in the classroom, and I know you guys would too, but we have 5 days left. We can get through this, and then it's on to summer. Okay. All right. So make sure you get your work done, turn it in, and tomorrow we'll move on. So I will talk to you guys later.